Well, Kashechewan First Nation is in the middle of a water crisis and wants the federal government to relocate the community. CTV's Lydia Chubak has more tonight from Kashechewan.
The evacuation of hundreds of Kashechewan's members continued this week. A failure with the community's sewage system caused the need for the measure.
Back in December 18, that's when the waterworks people notify us there's something wrong with that pump.
We replaced the pump, put it back in service, and got it operational.
But it was too late. Sewage had backed up into the water supply.
There's supposed to be a backwater valve or check valve on there that appears to have failed.
Indigenous Services Canada issued a do not consume water advisory January 5th. Because this isn't the first time Kashechewan's water system has failed. The chief launched evacuations, and so far around half of the community's 2,500 members have left.
I think this was a shocker to everybody because we had no clue as to what happened way back in December.
The sewage pump's malfunction caused other issues. Wastewater backed up into the nursing station, forcing healthcare workers to relocate and operate from the elementary school, the grade 4 classroom, now the ER. Some fire hydrants froze and crews have to heat them with a propane torch and add salt to maintain them. The high school's sprinkler system also froze, causing water damage. And the water plant's heating system is also broken. This generator supplies the warmth. It's all too much for the community's chief to manage on his own.
I could just sense his frustration and the load, the heavy load that he must be carrying on his shoulders. And that's why I wanted to be here today.
Chief Wesley says last spring the community was given $1.7 million to address some infrastructure issues. Work was underway, but he says while waiting for parts and the sewage pump to come in, the system failed.
Having spare pumps on site would have definitely helped, because it could have been an instant resolve to the problem and prevented the backup.
We're not driving down to the city center, pick up a new part and install it, or the heater that's not working right here off to the hardware store to buy the part. It doesn't work like that. And so, the challenge is that communities left with coordinating all of this material coming in, finding the expertise to do it. Many of our communities face that, and sadly, what we've seen here in Kashechewan is a result of that.
As the community works to repair damages, Indigenous leaders are calling government leaders to visit Kashechewan.
If they're waiting for a good time or when things are calm for them to be here, they will never be here. They just need to show up.
No one has met the chief in person yet, but when that happens, he'll also be asking for an update on the agreement signed in 2019 to get the community relocated out of the flood-prone area.
Since that time, there's been very little action from Ontario and Canada to actually implement that agreement.
As the sun goes down on this day in Kashechewan, Indigenous leaders ask all Canadians to stand with them as they continue their fight.
Stand with my children, to stand with my babies, and to stand with the elders, and to stand with my membership. That's my hope as we fight to get a better community.
Kashechewan is located on the banks of the Albany River, which flows north into James Bay. In a matter of weeks, the threat of spring flooding will be added to the long list of problems. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Kashechewan.
And in an email to CTV News, Indigenous Services Canada says at this time there's been no reportable E. coli confirmed in patient testing samples. However, tests remain ongoing. Minister of Indigenous Services Canada Mandy Galmasti tells CTV News that they are continuing to support leadership. In a statement, she writes, in part, during emergency situations, it is essential that I remain in regular contact with community leadership to ensure needs are being identified and addressed. I spoke with Chief Wesley on Tuesday, and we will continue to connect as needed.